Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to be painting Santa Claus on his sleigh, and you can make this as a Christmas card or you can frame it and put it in the house for an additional Christmas decoration. Now I'm going to be starting with showing you what colors I chose, and you can match them with what you have in your palette. I'm using Payne's Gray, Manganese Violet, Yellow Ochre, Burnt Sienna, and Cadmium Yellow, and also a white gouache for the water effect and the water spray. I'm going to be starting with a sketch which is basically just a circle representing the moon, and then I'm using a synthetic brush to pre-wet the paper around it. Try to spread it even around the paper to get it ready for the first layer. I'm gonna be using Payne's Gray for this layer. I'm gonna not worry about the violet so far because I cannot get it very dark in the first try. It's gonna be multiple layer build. So adding a little bit of contrast to the bottom. Once the paper is completely dry, move on to the second layer, which is going to be basically a repetitive action of the first layer. It's just gonna go even darker, and here I'm adding more manganese violet. You can see that the shade is already warmer. Now once this layer is dry, I am working on the moon, dissipating the light towards the background a little, and also I'm adding just a dash of yellow on the snow, on the ground, so it can have a reflection. Now once the paper is dry, I'm working on the third layer, and this one is adding one more stage of depth. Now here I'm trying to make this effect of misty and very dreamy night sky, and I want the moonlight to be glowing around a little bit, not too much. I still want to have a crisp edge, and I'm trying to do that on the next layer. Now adding more contrast on the bottom, and then just suggesting some heels, and then moving back to the moon, I'm adding a little bit more of that burnt sienna I have and a yellow ochre. In the last layer, I'm gonna be doing framing of the moon with a crisp edge, and also this is mine that it's also a gradient wash, so I'm going radial, adding more and more water. And here I'm using Mop 2 brush. I'm gonna link the brush in the description below with the main supplies I use for this painting. Now it's time to add splatters of white gouache, and I'm not waiting for the paper to be completely dry because I want to have different blurriness levels for my splatter. So I suggest the snowflakes that are further and closer from the view plan. With a dark combination of Payne's Gray and Manganese Violet, I'm going to be working on these trees that are going to be in the midground. Note that on the left on this tree I'm adding some yellow, and that is because I'm trying to suggest the light coming from the moon. Same is going to be with the tree on the left, and because the moon is between the two trees, my light, it's going to be on the right side of this tree. You can add more or less here, just play around with it. I used a little bit to the middle too, so it's more balanced composition. And I'm adding here some darks. You can work here on the following layer or just wet on this layer. Sometimes I like to play with wet on wet, so I have this gradient transition of shades inside the tree, which I like. And now once I am done with the trees, I just make sure not to touch and smudge the paint on the bottom, and I'm working on the Santa. Here I'm using the same silver brush and just the tip of it, try to make some silhouettes. Don't be so concerned about details here, just Look, I'm just making a line and then 2 more lines at the bottom to suggest the feet and just curve them towards the Santa, so it looks like the wind is pushing the feet of these reindeers. So I think I'm gonna go with 3. I'm not sure exactly how many reindeers actually Santa has. If you know that, please let me know and comment below, so I can make a more accurate painting next year if I will decide to do the Santa Claus again. Now, final touches at the bottom. I'm adding more contrast. I'm not satisfied with the composition yet, so I'm doing kind of like a wet on wet there, and I'm wiping the top to suggest that area where the light is reflecting from the little hill. And also I'm adding some touches of yellow ochre on the trees where I feel like I could use a little bit more. Now at the end I'm okay, I'm splattering this white gouache, but I can fix that. Just put more pigment and move it around. I can mask that, it's fine. Just don't use a rag. It's gonna go everywhere and you're gonna ruin the texture around. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you'd like to see more like this, and have yourself a Merry Christmas full of joy with family and friends. Bye bye.